So if you want to take your lawn looking something like this to something like this, then stay tuned for what I've got for you. So in this video, we're going to look at how to use a natural pigment, essentially paint for the lawn, to get your winter lawn or lawn that's dyed, one that needs a bit of a spruce up, that beautiful natural pigment green. So here in where I am in Australia, it's middle of winter, lots of frost, the cooch has gone dormant, as you can see. And as a result, it looks terrible. It looks dead, it looks boring. It's really sad to look outside. So what we're gonna do here is apply Lawn Tips' product. It's the natural pigment, pure color, and we're gonna see how it performs and what we look like after. Really excited for this one. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this project is a couple of important things. One is some form of sprayer. Now, this one's gonna be sufficient for my space of yard. There's about 300 square meters here I'm gonna spray. Importantly, you want a fan tip nozzle. So this is one that's gonna spray quite broadly, but in a line. At the same time, you'll see this as we get to work. Now, I've also got some safety gloves. These are chemical resistant, probably a bit of overkill for a dye, but I'd suggest some form of gloves in case you get this on your hands. Chances are, I'm guessing it's not gonna come off very easily. And of course, finally, we've got our natural color here. Now, this is a natural pigment, so non-toxic. You can have your pets and kids run on it shortly after. It does suggest not to mow it like straight away within that next day, which makes sense. You want to let it really absorb into the leaf. In terms of the mix that you need for this, it's suggesting 12 to 20 mils per 100 meters squared in somewhere between 4 to 8 liters of water. Now, I've got 300 square meters here. So if I do the maths on that, I'm probably gonna need somewhere between 36 to 60 mils in about 12 liters of water if we go pretty thick. So we'll do the maths on that before we do it, but one whole bottle of 100 mils is gonna cover 800 square meters. So there's quite a lot in this 100 mils that you can get done, which for us would be sufficient, no doubt. And because it's gone completely dormant, I might go a little bit heavier just to get that really deep, rich green. And finally, when you get to edges, there is a warning on this that it can stain like concrete and tiles and things like that you get close to. So it just happens to be in the shed. I had part of the delivery package from Lawn Tips. I'm gonna use this as like an edge protection, sort of run it across the edge as I spray so we don't get any overspray. So as a prep step, what I'd suggest is give your lawn a good mow. I'm mowing mine at my usual height here just to clean up any inconsistencies and any rubbish on top that might get in the way of the spray. So first step with filling up your sprayer, I'd suggest before you put the product in, at least half fill your sprayer. The problem with this is if you just put the dye in straight away and then fill it up, you may not get complete dilution of that bottom part and you end up with a really, really high thickness as you start spraying, and then you miss out later on. So half fill it. I'm gonna put some paint in it then and then refill the rest of it, give it a good shake, and we should have a really good distribution. All right, so I've just popped half of the water in because I'm gonna start mixing in the product now. So I'm gonna go with the heavier application, and I'd like to do that just because my grass is next to white. It is so dead, there's no color in it at all, and I want maximum effect so that my lawn looks somewhat decent over winter. So we're gonna go for the 60 mil into about 12 liters of water here. That's gonna get us the 300 square meters we need to get this all done with a reasonably heavy application. And I've got 200 mils of this, so if I run out, it's okay, I've got plenty left. So I'm just giving it a bit of a shake beforehand. It doesn't suggest you need this, but probably always a good thing to try. All right, so take a close look at that, guy. It's pretty deep green. I'm looking forward to putting that on my lawn. There we go, that's about half of it in there now. So once you've got as much dye as you need, fill the rest up to the desired level of water and then give it a good shake to mix. All right, we're all locked and loaded, so let's put this on and get spraying. Something I just realized before we start spraying, it's probably a better idea to put gumboots on rather than a nice pair of work boots. So I'm just gonna do that and then we'll get into it. So a hot tip, what I've found is you can get pretty close to the edge just by watching it in. And that way I don't need to use the cardboard. I think if you're really sensitive around a structure that you're really quite not wanting to get any colour on it, probably go for the cardboard method. For this sort of brick edge, it's not a problem at all. All right, so I'll show an example of something. Let's say you do get a bit of overspray. Oops, how about that? Made a bit of a boo-boo there. Just been doing these edges and I've just copped a little bit over here. Just have a hose nearby. All you need to do is just a quick wash off and it disappears pretty quick and dilutes. So you shouldn't have any issues, even if you are a little bit more liberal like I am on the overspray there. So what I'm finding so far, very easy to apply. It goes on with no problem at all. We've got a slight breeze today, probably nothing more than 5 to 10 kilometres an hour. But I've just got it reasonably low to the ground anyway, just to get that good application. All right, so we're halfway done and not too shabby. I'll show you some close-ups in a moment. But it's really interesting, when you're doing it, you see the green come out, you see it change hue, but it's really surprising how quick your eyes get used to it. And you sort of go, oh, is this really making a difference? And then as you'll see, as we look at the comparison, you look at what it used to look like, and it's like, all right, this is looking pretty good. Now, I'm sure if you want to get even greener, just increase the application rate. But so far, it's looking pretty good. I'll wait till the finished product. We'll see if we need to go over it a second time, because I've got plenty of product if I need. But it's looking a whole lot fresher, a lot less bland, dead, and depressing. So I'm looking forward to what this is going to look like. All right, so we've just finished applying the Lawn Tips Pure Colour Blend, the natural pigment to this lawn, and it looks pretty nice. It's a nice shade of green, it's not too offensive, it's not too fake, and it looks really similar to what the couch looked before it had gone dormant. Now, I don't think I'm actually going to fully appreciate what this looks like before and after, which I'll put up some pictures right now of until I look back at this in editing. But looking at it now, it looks nice. It's not as sad to be out here anymore. A bit more colour, a bit more vibrant. And for those of you who love a beautiful green lawn, it's not going to be exactly what it's like after a beautiful fert, but for winter, a whole lot better than the alternative. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content, subscribe below and like. Helps get this channel out to more people. Have a great day.